Chapter 749, A Hellish Dystopian World. Happy first day of summer, everyone. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. It starts with us in a jail and Chuck and Steve were in a holding cell. Steve, so, even after everything that's happened, you're still going to send us to jail? Maria, you two still bullied Carly Beth. Do you really think we're just going to let that slide? Chuck, finally having enough. Hey. We've been through enough already. All of us were shocked that Chuck actually stood up to us. Maria, we're not through with you two yet. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The People's Court theme plays. Bailiff, calling courtroom to order in the case of People of the United States vs. Chuck Green and Steve Boswell. Honorable Judge Diana P. Bradley presiding. Judge Diana, you may be seated. We sat down. Judge Diana, has the jury reached a verdict? Juror 1, we have your honor. We in the above entitled case of case number 124223433J, we the jury find the defendants Charles Edwards Green and Stephen Maxwell Boswell, guilty on all charges. Carly Beth, yes. Steve, your honor, I would like to say something. Judge Diana, fine. Go ahead. Steve, all we did was play a few cruel jokes on Carly Beth. But those are nothing compared to what guys like Peter Griffin did. So why don't you ask yourselves before you throw us in jail, is this really worth fussing over? Judge Diana, after what you did to Carly Beth. Not a chance, and I will not show any mercy on you two. As punishment for your crimes against Carly Beth Caldwell, it is the judgment of this court that I impose the maximum on you. You both are hereby sentenced to 75 years in prison without parole. You'll serve 3 years in the local juvenile correctional facility, and then when you turn 18 you will be transferred to the United States Penitentiary in Tucson. Me, that's also the prison where the kidnapper of Elizabeth Smart was sentenced to. Lori, and also where disgraced Dr. Larry Nasser is held. Me, those freaks got what they deserved. Judge Diana, yes they did. I have 3 kids myself and I love them more than anything. In addition to your sentence, you are hereby ordered to pay Carly Beth restitution in the amount of $672,726,938,675. That was an extremely heavy amount. Carly Beth gave her victim impact statement and she showed that she was more powerful than the both of them, both physically and mentally, and that they will never torment her or her friends ever again. They were about to be taken away, but they looked at us with incredible rage. Chuck, to us happy, guys? Riku, look, if there's anything we can do to make things easier for you too. Chuck, don't bother. You've done enough already. I just hope you can sleep at night knowing that you threw us in prison even after we got possessed by those Vikings. Me, you brought all this on yourselves. You should have been nicer to Carly Beth, and you should have been her friends instead of her bullies. Carly Beth was free of her bullies. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Back at the estate we were watching our favorite movie saga, The Hunger Games. Chloe Carmichael, Lori Loud and Lola Loud are huge fans of the books and the movies. They love to dress up for the movie. The movies are set in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world that makes a walk through hell seem like child's play. It takes place in what used to be the continent of North America, and it is now renamed Panem. A terrifying cataclysmic event destroyed much of the planet and it radically altered the landscape. It follows the leader of the Mockingjay rebels named Katniss Everdeen, and the rebels are on a mission to bring down the tyrannical rule of the evil ruler of the Capital District, President Coriolanus Snow. We hated this guy's guts to the point where it makes our blood boil. He's a tyrant that rules over the whole land with fear. President Snow is responsible for taking care of the country and working on the Hunger Games, a competition on which one boy and one girl between the ages of 12 and 18 from each of the 12 districts must have a fight to the death, year after year. He is unafraid to hurt or kill people if he feels that they will be a threat or a sign of rebellion. In Catching Fire, Book 2, he threatens to kill Katniss, Peeta's, and Gale's families if she didn't convince all of Panem that what she did in the games, threatened that she and Peter would commit suicide if the capital didn't make them both winners, was just her madly in love and not a sign of rebellion. After the overthrow of the capital, Snow is tried, convicted, and sentenced to death. As the Mockingjay, Katniss is given the opportunity to execute Snow. However, she assassinates President Al McCoy instead. In the chaos that follows, Katniss witnesses Snow laughing and coughing up blood as a crush of people surround them. When everything calms down, Snow is found dead, either from choking on his own blood or being crushed by the crowd. It was absolutely horrible what we saw Snow doing. He was killing innocent children all for his own sick amusement while ruling over the entire world with an iron fist. If there's one thing that we never tolerate above all others, it's the senseless slaughter of innocent people, including children, above all others. I can't believe that President Snow would do all those horrible things, not just to the planet but to all those kids as well. Nico, I know. He makes even the devil himself look like a fucked up joke. Lori, I know. He literally is a true monster. Chloe Carmichael was dressed up like Katniss. She had her hair in a ponytail and was wearing Katniss's uniform from Catching Fire. Chloe, but Katniss is so awesome. She is an amazing warrior. She is also an amazing leader. She lead the rebels really well and they all successfully overthrew the capital. Nicole, like how we overthrew the Imperial Empire in Star Wars. Exactly. Nico, but President Snow was a pure evil monstrosity. No kidding. He's probably the worst villain we've ever seen anywhere. And he makes even the worst people in all of history look like a total joke. Nico, he makes all the villains we faced look like tame kittens compared to him. Ed, nicely put, Nico. Jared, no kidding, double D. This guy is a completely honorless slime ball. Hulk, reminds Hulk of time when me and She-Hulk turned back into Puny Banner and Cousin Jen in Subway. What happened back then? Jen, well, we were about to stop another mob organization and we had to take the subway. Flashback. Jen, narrating, me and Hulk were walking through the subway station. She-Hulk, looks like we have to take a train. Hulk, here comes now. They reverted back. Their skin turned back to their normal colors, they lost all their muscle mass, their hair reverted back to brown and black and they shrunk down in size. The train came and opened its doors for them and they went in after everyone else got off at their stop. They got on the train and a little girl was looking at them. Girl, what happened to your clothes? Jen, it's a long and strange story, young one. The men were looking at her. Jen, strikes a pose. Like what you see, boys? The men were doing catcalls and they were going crazy and howling like wolves from Tex Avery. Bruce, you are full of surprises, Jen. Jen and Hulk got off and they changed back into their Hulk and She-Hulk forms. Bruce, I hate this part. Jen, me too. When they changed back into their Hulk forms they roared ferociously. Flashback ends. Jen, but we stopped the mob in the end. Well, that's a relief. Then we got a surprise when a portal suddenly opened up. Out of the portal came the hero of the Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen herself. We gasped. Katniss Everdeen. Skywarp, Katniss Everdeen. Katniss, hi. Hope I'm not interrupting anything. I take it you came to us to help you kill Snow? Katniss, that's right. I was told so much about your deeds from everyone we rounded up in the Mockingjay Rebels. We don't like to brag. Nico, but still we know all about the Hunger Games and what President Snow is doing is completely unforgivable. Skydive, that son of a bitch. Katniss, hey, I'm pissed off at Snow too. But we can't afford to lose our cool. If we charge in recklessly, it'll be easy for him to kill us. We need a foolproof strategy. Any suggestions? Katniss is right. I know the deeds that Snow did are absolutely horrific, but we can't let anger and rage over the reign of terror of Snow get to us. The capital district is a heavily guarded and extremely well fortified area. This time we can't rush in without a very well thought out strategy and plan. Nico, good point. Katniss, okay, when we get to my world, try not to lose it, okay? Me, we won't. Lisa, deploy the USS Valor. Lisa, affirmative, second elder brother. The USS Valor was deployed and we were on our way to the world of the Hunger Games. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. The USS Valor was flying through space. Me, Captain's Log. Stardate 2672.4. The USS Valor is en route to a post-apocalyptic dystopian planet Earth that is ruled by a tyrannical district. With us is legendary rebel hero Katniss Everdeen, and our mission is to destroy the capital district and kill its president and free the world from his rule. Lola, I can't believe this is really all real. Me, I know. Katniss, how did your version of Earth get turned into the post-apocalyptic dystopian nightmare it is now? Katniss, it was because of Snow. He ruined our home planet. He destroyed much of our entire planet and now everyone is starving. Living on our world is like living in a total nightmare. Me, what year is your planet Earth set in? Katniss, from your time standards it would be in the year 6742. Everyone, wow. Me, that's 4723 years from now. It's 2019 in this time. Katniss, so we were teleported through time somehow. Me, yeah. Lincoln, it's absolutely horrifying what you all went through, Katniss. Lainey, I know. I read the books on the Hunger Games and they were awesome. Lainey showed Katniss her books on the Hunger Games series and Katniss was amazed. Katniss, so they made books about my adventures? Me, and a movie series and they are awesome. Nico, they sure are. Lori, the books and the movies are both literally good. Me, they sure are. My mom read all the books and she loves them. Also Katniss, you are an awesome and magnificent leader. You lead a bunch of rebels and achieved victory and overthrew an entire empire. Katniss, I'm glad you all look up to me as such high regard. Me, millions of people all over our planet Earth do. You are a major inspiration to a lot of people. Katniss, I'm glad they look up to me. Maria, you know what, Katniss? You're right. We can't rush in during every time we fight bad guys. Katniss, don't get me wrong. The way you guys do things is pretty good. Just not for situations where rushing in can get innocent people killed. Me, that's a good point. But with a heavily armed and well-fortified place like the Capital District, this is gonna take some heavy planning. Katniss, okay. Before we confront Snow, we need to free the captives from the guards. The captives are kids being forced to fight, like me. Do you guys think you can keep your emotions under control for this part? Me, we can do that. Lisa, we have arrived at our destination. Me, on screen. On the view screen we saw another planet Earth. We were 10 light years away from our Earth, but this version of planet Earth was completely different. What we saw was absolutely horrific. The continents of the planet were changed big time and the landscape was radically altered. On North America, we saw that the entirety of Florida, the Gulf Coast, the Atlantic East Coast, the Pacific coastline, much of western and southern Alaska and the northern Canadian province of Nunavut were completely underwater and the Hudson Bay was expanded. Most of North America was still intact. Greenland was still intact. The Caribbean islands were all completely underwater. Most of Central America was still intact. Parts of northern, central, and southern South America were underwater. The Amazon River was completely overflowing and it covered much of Brazil. Uruguay, southern Paraguay, and northern Argentina were underwater. Parts of Antarctica were underwater. England was almost completely underwater and had now been reduced to islands. Parts of Europe, Iceland, and Scandinavia were still intact. Parts of Western and Southern Africa were underwater. The Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and Aral Seas were overflowing. Parts of Asia and Russia were still intact, but the western side of India and the Maldives were totally underwater. Eastern China was totally underwater. Part of the Indonesian islands were underwater. Japan was still intact, but the south-central side of the island of Honshu was underwater. Southern Central Australia was underwater. All the major cities around the world had been completely destroyed. This is worse than what we first thought. Lainey, I can't believe Earth became like this. Lana, what could have caused the whole planet to become like this? This wasn't the work of a nuclear holocaust. This was the work of the polar ice caps melting partially. That's not the worst part. The population numbers took an incredible nosedive. They started out at 7.9 billion people and now it's 6.5 million people. We gasped in sheer horror. This is much worse than what we first thought. Our race on this planet is now teetering on the razor's edge of extinction. Lainey, that's 99% of the planet's population. Lisa, 99.15% to be precise. This is worse than what we first thought. Now the planet has a population the size of New York City, and unless we kill Snow, then the entire planet will have no future. Let's begin our operation. We engaged the stealth cloaks and landed on the planet in the mountains outside of the capital district. The capital district was right inside the Rocky Mountains, an area I am very well familiar with. We got out and Katniss showed us the capital district. What we saw from the distance of the mountains, that it was an amazing city, and we saw that it was an advanced city. It looked like a city from the year 2250. Wow. So that's the capital district. Lainey, it's just as amazing as it is in the books and in the movies. Chloe, it sure is. And it's just as heavily fortified as what we have seen. This is gonna be much harder than what we thought. Rushing in would be suicide. I took out a pair of advanced binoculars and studied the city. I saw that the whole city was heavily guarded with all kinds of advanced weaponry, highly trained guards and more. There's guards and weapons all over the place. Nico, it looks like Snow is prepared for anything. Lainey, he sure is. First we have to get all the kids out of there. I looked around and I saw a prison complex. It was located on an island in the middle of the lake. That prison complex must be where they're keeping the kids. We have to get them out of there. Nico, Sky Warp, you think you can handle that? Sky Warp, you know I can, boss. Nico, okay. I put a special cloaking device in you that will make you invisible completely to radar so no one can see you, Sky Warp. Nico, also I used my energy to enhance your energy to increase your teleportation range and your speed 100-fold. But it will only last for 2 hours. Sky Warp, that's more than enough time, boss. Fortress Maximus will be helping you out too. He has the same features. Sky Warp, roger that. Nico, let's do this. Okay. Cerebros, initiate rescue protocol Sigma Theta Gamma 121. Cerebros, acknowledged and commencing. Fortress Maximus was in his fortress mode and he and Skywarp were off and they went completely invisible. They flew out over the entire prison complex and Skywarp teleported and took all the kids one by one onto Fortress Maximus. He used incredible speed and the guards were all completely stumped as to what's happening. When all the kids were taken they were horrified. Guard, all the kids are gone. You better report this to President Snow. Guard 2, me? You're second in command. Guard, so. Make it an order. Fortress Maximus and Skywarp went back to us. The kids were unloaded in our hideout and they saw us. We introduced ourselves. Later we got to work on our battle plan. Katniss gave me a map of the capital district and it was a very well detailed and very sophisticated map. Okay. Here's the plan. Naruto, Lori, you will be the leaders of the Dragon, Angel, and Bird Air Assault Squad. You will take the squad and attack and destroy the laser defense turrets and the guards along the capital district perimeter. Naruto, roger that bro. Me, okay. Lainey, you, Sakura and Lin will lead an attack squad underground and attack the guards and the district from underneath. We need to take out as many guards as possible without harming the civilians. Lainey, you got it JD. Lin, you can count on us. Sakura, roger that. Me, Carol, you will call forth King Ghidorah and you Vince and your children will attack with the power of the kaiju and help out the air attack force. Carol, right. Me, great. Very, you, Lily, Cleo and the girls will lead an underwater attack force that will ambush the guards and the forces underwater. We need to use the element of surprise on all of them. Very, roger that honey. Me, okay. With the guards down on all 3 levels, me, Nico, Luan, Eddie, Edzilla, Chloe and Katniss will go into the main building while everyone provides more cover fire. Lana, Lola, you evacuate the civilians and get everyone to safety while everyone attacks. Lana, roger that. Me, okay. This is gonna be a very dangerous and very brutal battle. But our plan is to kill Snow and end his reign of terror. He has plagued this planet for far too long. Any questions? No one asked. Me, okay. We attack when I give the signal. Let's move. We got ready. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. It was D-Day, the day of destiny, and our mission was to make Snow pay for his crimes against our planet. We were now called the Team Loud Phoenix Storm Mockingjay Alliance. It was gonna be a rough and dangerous fight. But we were ready for anything. I was looking through my binoculars. I saw all the guards on the towers. Me, excellent. I pulled out a signal flare gun. Me, okay. Let's tear these fuckheads apart. I fired the flare and a red light was fired into the sky and it exploded and the air attack force was on its way. Most of us were on dragons and birds and were carried by angels. Me, air team, fire at will. Naruto, right. Fire at will. The dragons fired powerful blasts of fire from their mouths and everyone fired powerful blasts of their powers, energy blasts, and elemental energy blasts, and they rained down on the entire capital district and massive fiery explosions broke out. They destroyed all the guard towers and annihilated all the guards all along the walls of the district and set everything on fire. Lori fired powerful energy blasts and powerful blasts of wind that blew all the guards away and incinerated them. Riley and Sid summoned up massive trees and they uplifted the walls and sent guards high into the air at incredible speed. Kin, fire. Kintsuki and her dragon fired powerful energy blasts at the guards and vaporized them in an instant in a powerful explosion. Me, that was really clever. Katniss, it sure was. Stewie, very impressive. Me, yep. Through the radio, Carol, Vince, you're up. Vince, roger that partner. Carol, let's get them. Carol raised her hand up and a massive fiery explosion erupted out of the ground and turned into a massive fireball. The fireball took form and turned into King Ghidorah. Carol and Vince flew onto King Ghidorah's middle head. Vince, let's get them. Me, fire at will. King Ghidorah fired its gravity lightning and Carol and Vince fired Space Godzilla's corona beams and the blasts hit the buildings. The buildings exploded into massive piles of flaming debris and they were blasting more guards and buildings apart. Carla fired a powerful blast of burning Godzilla's spiral atomic ray and blew most of the buildings into burning rubble and fiery explosions. Evelyn and Pearl fired Mecha Godzilla's rainbow laser vision, finger missiles, and chest blasters and the whole city was being blasted apart and turning into a major war zone. Lola and Lana were evacuating all the civilians and getting them to the safety of the mountains. Massive fiery explosions were decimating the entire district. Me, underground team, move in. Lynn, on the radio, Roger that. Me. Underwater assault team. Attack. Very. On the radio. Roger that. The underwater and underground teams moved in. Massive earthquakes rattled the ground and massive geysers of lava exploded out of the ground and rained down on the guards, and rocks, boulders, and red-hot meteors rained down and they all hit and smashed the guards, and massive fiery explosions rang out. Massive explosions erupted out of the water and killed a bunch of guards and destroyed a bunch of ships and subs in the water. Maria fired a massive blast of water and Edzilla was riding on a massive mega tsunami. Maria and Edzilla. Mega tsunami Edzilla Smismstorm. The wave carried Edzilla into the city and he slammed into them and pulverized a bunch of guards with merciless fury. Me. This is it, guys. We're going in. Arj. We went at the city and roared in a thunderous roar of yelling, and Nico fired a powerful blast of energy at the gates and blasted them open. More guards came out and we had our swords and weapons ready and blasted and slashed them apart into a million pieces. Blood and guts were flying all over the place and splattering everywhere. The city was turning into a massive bloodbath. We got to the courtyard of the main Capitol building and we saw a huge army blockade ready for us. Me. They got a blockade ready. Nico, Katniss, Edzilla, Eddie, Luan, get ready to move. Nico, right. Edzilla, Ed smash dumb president now. Eddie, first Lumpy, let's find an elevator to his office. So far, not rushing in is actually doing us some good so far. Carol fired a blast of Godzilla's atomic ray and blew most of the army apart, and everyone fired a bunch of blasts of energy and powers and blew them apart. Me. Now's our chance. Follow me. We ran fast and went into the Capitol building as everyone was providing cover fire. Vince, let's finish them with our combos. Sky Warp. Roger that, Vince. Cyber Key Power. The Earth Cyber Planet Key went into the back of his jet booster and it enhanced his speed to 60,000 miles per hour, and it enabled him to get more missile launchers on his underside and top side, and he can fire more missiles all at once. Riku, let's get them. Giganteon Cyber Key Power. The Giganteon Cyber Planet Key went into Riku's right arm device and it enhanced his Keyblade's powers. Sky Warp and Riku. Hypersonic Dark Fire Strike Raid Hurricane. Riku threw his Keyblade and it was enveloped in dark fire, and Sky Warp flew at 60,000 miles per hour, and the hypersonic sonic boom combined with the Keyblade as it was spinning and it turned into a deadly fiery spinning saw blade. It slashed through numerous guards all at once. Slimy called upon the Animatron Cyber Planet Key and it went into his back and it enhanced his slime powers to the point where they become extremely acidic. Skydive. Let's get them. Cyber Key Power. The Earth Cyber Planet Key went into the back of Skydive's Mega Blaster and it enhanced its power 100-fold. Skydive. Acid Molecular Destructo Burst. Slimy fired a massive wave of acid slime and it covered the guards, and Skydive's Mega Blaster finished them by reducing them to protoplasmic goo. Inside the Capitol building we were killing more guards and more. Along the way, Nico caught a Cherim and they were having trouble with a Gastrodon. Horsa. Dodges Gastrodon's bubble beam, watch it. Poliwag? Yeah. That's not a bubble beam. Horsa and Poliwag. This is a bubble beam. Both of them fire a bubble beam at Gastrodon. Their attacks hit it and knocked it out. Nico, Pokeball go. Nico threw a Pokeball and caught it. Nico, yes. Me, way to go, Nico. Then we got to an elevator. We took the elevator to the top floor. We were listening to awesome elevator music. Me, this elevator music is catchy. Nico, it sure is. Chloe, I would not want to listen to music like this in this place. Me, you're right. Let's stay focused. We arrived at the top floor and we got out of the elevator and we were at a huge office, and then lasers fired at us and hit the floor. We dodged them and we saw President Snow himself. He was operating a laser turret and firing it at us, and I fired a powerful energy blast and destroyed the turret, and he jumped out of it and landed on the floor as it exploded. Crab boo. Me, President Coriolanus Snow. So we finally meet at last. Snow, yes so we do. Me, before we fight, I want to know something. Why did you plunge this whole planet into a post-apocalyptic dystopian nightmare? Snow, to enforce my will upon the planet and enslave it to how I like it. I melted the polar ice caps to destroy everything we worked hard for. Me, you motherfucking shit-stained son of a bitch. Nico, Coriolanus Snow, you have failed this world and the entire universe. Me, take him down. We went at him and I punched him in the face and kicked him in the stomach and kneed him in the face. Nico punched him in the face and knocked out some of his teeth. Me and Snow engaged in a powerful sword fight and the power of our clashes were so strong that it was unbelievable. We clashed violently and sparks were flying everywhere and setting everything on fire. Edzilla, Ed smash bad president. Edzilla smashed and brutally pulverized Snow into pulp. Chloe fired a powerful blast of magic energy and a swarm of piranhas appeared and bit him all over the place. Lewin and Eddie both fired a massive blast of light and burned him bad. Me, let's finish him. Chloe, let's get him. Magic lightning storm burst. Chloe fired a massive blast of magic and a storm cloud formed and lightning struck all over him and electrocuted him. Katniss, my turn. This is for my friends and my family. Fire arrow firestorm. Katniss fired an arrow and it lit on fire and it hit Snow and went all the way through his leg and burned him and it exploded and blew his whole leg off. He screamed in excruciating pain. Me, it's over Snow. You've lost. And now you will pay for your crimes. Suddenly a massive earthquake rattled the planet and the skies stormed up. Nico, what's happening? I looked at my device and I saw that the planet's core has been made completely unstable. Me, oh no. The planet's core has been completely destabilized. It's accelerating rapidly. The whole planet is going to explode. Everyone gasped in sheer horror. Snow laughed malevolently. Me, what have you done you fucking fucker? Snow, I pressed this self-destruct button here. In 10 minutes, this whole planet and everyone and everything on it will be completely obliterated. You all will be joining me in the fire of hell for all eternity. We're all going to die you fucking pieces of shit. Me, don't count on it you motherfucking son of a fucking bitch. I snapped my fingers and beamed everyone on the planet to our Earth. We went back to the ship and took off. We were watching the whole thing from a safe distance. Snow was left on the planet. He saw the whole planet destroying itself. Huge torrents of lava exploded high into the sky. The sky was stormed up and lightning struck everywhere and massive earthquakes rattled the land. Water was being sucked up into the sky and the ground was upheaving and changing and crumbling apart. Snow, no. Damn it. Echoing. We watched on in sheer horror as we saw the whole planet explode right in front of our very eyes. The explosion was so powerful and so devastating that it shook the entirety of the area to the core and destroyed the whole solar system in an instant. The whole planet and the whole solar system was completely obliterated in an instant. There was absolutely nothing left. Me? Wow. Snow destroyed the whole solar system in this area. Lincoln, what a monster. I'm glad this wasn't our solar system. Me too. Katniss was shocked and she saw right in front of her very own eyes that her home planet was now completely vaporized in a split second. Katniss, my home. My home. Crying. I went over and comforted her. Me, I'm so sorry Katniss. I'm so sorry. Katniss was crying hard. Her home was destroyed and she cried hard into my chest. We had never seen anyone cry so hard. Later we were back on our Earth. Katniss was reunited with her friends. Now she has a chance to start her life over. Nico, Katniss, how would you like to live with us? Katniss, really? Nico, yeah, You taught us the value of thinking strategically. We could learn a lot more from you. Me? That's right. It was thanks to your strategies that we triumphed over Snow and saved everyone and destroyed his tyrannical rule. Katniss hugged me. Katniss, thank you so much, JD. Thank you. Me, you're welcome, Katniss. We showed Katniss her new room at our estate and she loved it. Katniss, to the viewers, to all tyrants everywhere, we will find you and take you down. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction complete. The Hunger Games is an awesome book series that my mom loved to read and she read all the books. What happened on the world of the Hunger Games was absolutely horrific and it was so awesome how Katniss led an uprising against the Capital District. This has to be one of the most strategically planned chapters we've ever done. Nico-chan11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man as usual. I got the idea for this one from watching an episode of The Fairly Odd Parents called The Hungry Games, which was a parody of The Hunger Games. Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Lenny Kravitz, Stanley Tucci, and Donald Sutherland all did a great job in all three movies from 2012 to 2015. They were awesome. Mockingjay was in 2 parts. I never saw the movies or read the books, but they were awesome from what I've heard. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time. Hunger Games is owned by Gary Ross, Francis Lawrence, Suzanne Collins, and Lionsgate Films.